So I think that's a good starting point. How did you meet Mr. Kris?
Oh, Lord.
I love love stories. So here we go.
Oh, boy. Okay, so we actually met in Iraq in 2003.
Okay.
I don't remember meeting him.
Okay.
He was really special.
You know, when you're a female Marine in country and you haven't bathed in 4 months and your, like, ratio is like 2,000 to 1, nobody's special.
Yeah.
You're special. So, anyway, when we really developed a friendship that was lasting was about 2007 in 29 Palms. And we met on the job. He was still active duty. He was a gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps. I actually got out in 2005, and I was working for General Dynamics on command and control systems, C2 systems, doing training, systems admin, stuff like that. There was a system in particular that it was really new, and there was only like one person per coast that actually knew how to do the system, and I was the West Coast person. So Kris basically got sent to come see me by his command to get the scoop on the system.
It was special delivery.
Yeah. So he showed up on a motorcycle, and he got off the motorcycle, and I was like, oh God. I was like, and my boss had told me, like, my boss came to me that morning, and he said, hey, he was a staff sergeant at the time. He wasn't even a gunny yet, which is an E6. And my boss had came to me early, like when I first got in that morning, and he said, hey, Staff Sergeant McCullough from TTCG is going to come. He wants to come talk to you about CPOF. And me and my boss, I wasn't a fan. So I just figured, like, guilt by association. Like, anybody this guy introduces me to, automatically a tool. Like, automatic douchebag status, like, whatever. So I'm standing there, and he shows up on his crotch rocket with his jacket and his hat, and I'm like, Jesus. And I don't think we ever actually talked about CPOF. We talked about Jeeps. We talked about alcohol. We talked about horses. We talked about the Marine Corps. And I don't think we ever actually talked about CPOF. We spent about 4 hours together. And according to Chris's version of the story, Kris, which he just told at Adam's wedding, during his best man toast, Kris went back to his office, and he was known as a little bit of a player. He went back to his office and told the captain and the major that he just met the girl he was going to marry.
Wow.
I love that.
And then I friend zoned him for 6 years. Actually, like 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Little FZ friend zone.
Yeah. That's a bad word now. Did you know that?
No.
You're like not supposed to say friend zone anymore now?
Why not?
Gosh.
I don't know. It's some kind of like,
What new zone is it?
I don't know.
Is there a zone anymore?
I don't think so.
It's the non-gender, non-friend, non-relational
Well,
zone.
so what I've understood from some of the feminism circles that I don't really move in, but you know, there's some overlap.
We learn.
Friend zone implies that you're denying him sex because he's a nice guy. Implies that the default setting is that you should be doing that. Yeah, so that's why friend zone's like apparently no longer a politically correct term.
That's really sad, and I should probably use it more often.
Totally.
So you go right up to the line, and then you
Cross it.
cross it. That's right.
100%.
Isn't that what lines are for?
Yeah.
So did you, on that day for the 4 hours, was there something that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to marry this guy? Or not yet?
No.
Not yet, because
No.
that was before the friend zone. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had just moved up there, and we hit it off like really well as friends.
Yeah.
Like I was like, wow, we're into a ton of the same stuff, you know, and that's it. And we kind of had some of the same circles of friends, and we started.
But did you
going
think
with
he was cute?
You know, in that environment, you're so jaded because you're so outnumbered. And you're so, I mean, even though we were back in the States.
So everyone's cute or no one's cute?
No one's cute.
Oh, okay.
Because even though we were back in the States, I mean, 29 Palms is basically a mini Afghanistan. Like.
Let's go there.
Right?
What's his nickname? Is it Black Hole or something like that? Or
Oh, it has so many nicknames.
Okay.
Yeah, Stomps. And yeah, there's many nicknames. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're just so jaded because you're so outnumbered. And you know, everybody, it's just ridiculous. Like, you can totally just go to the bar in your sweatpants and, like, take your pick. Like, you can do whatever you want being a girl in that environment.
Maybe
Like,
that's where I
it's
went
insane.
wrong.
Yeah. So,
Join
yeah,
the military, Susan.
I wasn't looking
Yeah.
because I just wasn't. So, yeah.
So then how did it turn into it? Like, did he come ask you out 5 years later? You looked at each other and you're like, oh, we're at the bottom of a hill in a Jeep and we're having a sleepover? What happened?
Put my business out there. Okay, so
Welcome to the show.
no, went to parties together. So eventually what happened was his command, after probably about another year, they needed their own me. Like, they needed their own field engineer, and they actually went and they went to the government, got the funding, got the money to build a contract to have their own field engineer there. And I already lived in 29 Palms, and trust me, trying to recruit a civilian to go move to 29 Palms on purpose isn't easy. I already lived there, and I already knew the systems that they needed me to know. So I was just kind of a natural shoo-in, and I was, like, miserable at the position I was in. So I was kind of a natural shoo-in into that position. So now we work together. Still really good friends, like, party together even more now. Went to the field together every day. So I think it just really blossomed, like, because we were together all the time, and we had everything in common. And we used to roll out to the field. We'd either roll in a Govy, like a government vehicle, or we'd roll out in the Jeep. And we'd be in the Jeep or the vehicle for like 6 hours. I mean, that's an enormous base. So it's like the largest military base in the U.S. It's huge. You're like literally driving halfway to Vegas if you go to the other side of that base. So, and you're going like 15 miles an hour. So we would be in the vehicle hours and hours and hours and hours a week. And we had the same hobbies, like fucking with the comm officers and making them pee their pants. So
Now there's a hobby.
Totally.
When I grew up.
Well, so every 28 days, it was a 28-day training cycle. And units came from every unit in the Marine Corps had to pass through that pre-deployment training program in order to get the check in the box to deploy. And so they were, they were there to impress the Coyotes, which was us, and succeed and get all the green checks and all the right boxes so they didn't get in trouble, basically. And so, we would go out there and just kind of like make them pee their pants a little bit. And every 28 days, we got to start over with a fresh. It was amazing. It was like almost as good as, I was never a drill instructor, but I feel like it probably was almost as good as being a drill instructor, except without the crappy schedule and yelling.
And there's my goal. I just want you to know that I'm 58, I can sometimes just pee my pants.
Oh.
You don't even have to make me.
Okay,
it's just
I don't
involuntary.
Make you pee your pants. And it's kind of hot in here, so don't,
It is
don't
hot
pee
in here,
your
right?
pants
It's
because it'll smell and stuff. But yeah, we kind of just really bonded. I mean, he was always so we'd be on these super long vehicle rides, and he would always just be telling me about his latest relationship fail, and there were many. And like when your friend, guy or girl, doesn't matter, your friend like tells you, about their latest relationship fail, and like, usually you at least on some level can be like, wow, I'm really sorry that happened. Like, she sounds like a, can I say cunt? Yeah. She sounds like a cunt. Oh, shit. Edit. Okay.
Keep going.
We go back to.
No, keep going.
Anyway,
So you couldn't fake the disappointment?
No, it wasn't even that. It was, so, when your friend has a relationship fail, guy or girl, you want to be, normally, even if your friend's like a little bit wrong, normally, because they're your friend, you can kind of be like, wow, I'm really sorry that happened. Like, that person sounds like, a little bit of a tool. I'm really sorry they did that to you or whatever. With Kris, it was like, he would tell me this stuff, and I would look over at him, and I would be like, that's your fault. Like, that's 100%, you're a caveman. What is wrong with you? You're a Neanderthal. Like, and then as that went on months and months and months, it slowly started morphing into like, you're super hot. Like, I would totally sleep with you, but I would never date you. You're a caveman.
Oh my gosh.
Totally. Never date. And then one night we had a shop party. Somebody's birthday or something. I don't remember. We had a shop party at the bowling alley and got really, really drunk. And the rest is kind of just history. Like, that's that.
And then you lived happily ever after.
Yep.
It really is romantic.
Yeah.